Jeffrey's horny. He's so horny. And he's frustrated. He isn't getting any attraction from women. He's so used to this life that he's went deep into the depths of the internet, into these subcultures talking about women and how they only like chads. He's tried online dating, but he doesn't really get many matches, and the matches he does get are either bots or unattractive women. The reason why we don't like Jeffrey is because he takes no responsibility. He complains and he hates on women. He complains about the societal dating standards, and yet he does nothing to improve himself to become more attractive. Jeffrey wouldn't date himself, and yet he expects women to be interested in him. Adonis is a confident man, and he knows that there's one major thing that he can do throughout his day that makes women attracted to him: holding eye contact. It's so simple, it's fundamental, but of course Adonis doesn't overlook the fundamentals. He has the humility to know that they are what's crucial, and so he keeps it in mind. Hold good, strong eye contact. Imagine Adonis walking down the street. A girl sees him in the distance, and she notices that he's looking right at her. Not like a creep, not full of lust, but of interest. She can't help but be attracted and impressed by him. She's used to all these boys looking away from her, and here in front of her is a man. I definitely have some autistic tendencies inside of me, and one of them is that I'm very, very aware of like people's body language. I'm quite like an observational overthinker. So everywhere I go, and particularly in the gym, I'm kind of always like observing people and how they interact. It's kind of fun, and like I kind of enjoy it, but it is kind of autistic to do it. But if you're watching this video, you might be quite similar to me. And in the gym especially, I always notice of how the guys interact when there's like a hot, you know, like one of those fit gym girls there. And it's just it's interesting, but it's just cringe, because the overwhelming majority of guys, like, okay, let me set the scene, right? So this girl comes in, she's looking good, she's looking hot, she's got like revealing clothes on, she's squatting or something, and I kind of noticed that the men around her will start to like gravitate more and more towards her, and they'll kind of like look into her direction just to kind of, you know, peek a look and get their testosterone boost. And as soon as she kind of looks back towards them, they'll kind of like pretend that they're just, you know, doing something, just shuffling their clothes or something like this. Or the girl will walk in and they'll start like, you know, tucking the shirt in, like trying to look cool or some shit. It's very infrequent that I actually see a guy who holds eye contact with one of these girls when they don't actually know each other. Of course, there's like guys who kind of know them, so they'll come in for a chat and that's okay. But it's very rare that there's like a guy who's just seen her for the first time and actually feels like he's on the same level as her and holding her eye contact. Put this in her perspective. Let's say you want that girl. Think about how that's going to make her feel. She's so used to guys like shuffling around her, not making eye contact, you know, pretending they were looking at something else. And here some random guys just come in and looked at her as if they're equals, or as if he can even like challenge her to almost like autistic as f, but like if she looks away first, it's almost like he's kind of somewhat won some kind of subconscious animalistic war, some like tug of war of power. It's very autistic to think that, but there is truths of that. What's going to happen inside of her subconscious brain in the way that she evaluates this guy compared to like the Jeffreys who like stare at her from across the gym, but as soon as she looks back they look away? There is going to be a level of attraction, and she's going to feel kind of impressed by that. So what do you do when you see like an attractive girl that you maybe would like to speak to, you'd like to be with? Do you do that like, oh, you know, I wasn't really looking at her, like I don't want to disturb her workout? I think this is autistic, but I think more men would benefit from this mindset of seeing it as a challenge and actually thinking like, yeah, like I'm gonna hold her at eye contact longer than she holds mine. Obviously don't be a weirdo, don't stare, especially when she's like not looking. Don't stare, don't like make it obvious you're looking at her body. But like with things like eye contact, it is perfectly reasonable to have in your mind like, yes, I would like to hold good eye contact with this girl. When you cue yourself up and you literally like load that into your mind, you'll find that you'll do it a lot more. And I know that this is quite like a spurgy topic to talk about, but you know how it feels when you don't make good eye contact with a girl. Like you feel kind of embarrassed by yourself, you feel kind of weak. And then think about the times where you make good eye contact with a girl or even a guy. You feel like connected to them, you feel strong, you feel powerful. It's like you start feeling confident, and it's like your mind starts registering like, yeah, like I am a pretty good guy, I have been doing like pretty good work, I'm becoming more confident. It's such a simple thing that leads to such a big difference in how your day goes. Most guys can't even hold eye contact with her. This actually reminds me of the first time that I saw my now friend. His name's Scott. Me and him have got along very, very well. He started like this Instagram challenge that I went on, and like we've been able to collaborate. And the first time that I actually saw him in the gym, I thought he was like a total fucking chad. He's got tattoos, he looks badass, he's like long hair in like a man bun thing, athletic, good hairline, attractive face and everything. And so when I first joined the gym, I was way more of an autist because I didn't have any friends. And so I saw him and I was like, you know, oh, there's Chad, like I'm gonna observe what Chad does. And it was so fucking interesting to see that I had seen guys, you know, like shuffle away from the girls. I'd seen guys like run up to the gym girls and like, you know, do their workout, help them with the plates. I've literally seen that like quite often, like guys that come and help them with their workouts and everything, kind of speak to them. And this guy Scott, he came in and this is before I even knew it, but I just saw like one of the most attractive girls. She looked over at him and kind of like wanted to speak to him, and he just kind of gave her like a little and just did his workout. And I promise, okay, I was autistically observing him. I promise when I say that he didn't even like look up, you know, in like a cheeky way to kind of look at her. He didn't even like think about her once more. He gave her like a pity, like, oh, like, what's up? And he like fully was focused on his workout. This is literally like a Scott appreciation video, honestly. He's become one of my best friends, and he's such an incredibly like wise, pure guy. I'm gonna send him a message saying that. Sick guy, man. We're planning to meet each other in Bali in about September this year, because I'm going to be traveling and he's going to go to Bali for a while, so I'm going to like go there and come see him, and we'll do like a nice little collab. We'll get like a villa and everything. Be like Chad. Scroll down right now and click on the share button underneath this video. Send the link over to a friend who you know has got pretty bad eye contact. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.